Storm is part of the next generation of high-tech racers.
A rookie sensation.
Jackson Storm.
Jackson Storm.
Jackson Storm's in a class of his own.
Hey, champ. You had a good run. You have no idea what a pleasure it is for me to finally beat you.
Did you say meet or beat?
I think you heard me.
Well, we started the journey with this third film by just looking at where McQueen is now as a racer, and what's interesting about where he is as a racer. Anyway, Cars 1, he was the best, right? He was the new kid, and he was the best. So what was interesting right away is he's not the new kid, and he's not the best.
You can't just bank on that natural talent that he had.
Right, and he's also older. You know, we talked to a bunch of racers and did a lot of research and looked at athletes that are aging in their career. And you know, and another fascinating thing for us was this idea that you can't be young again. You can't. You know, no matter what you do, you cannot make yourself younger. We wanted to put him in a dramatic corner, you know, and see how he deals with it and how he deals with the prospects that he may never be able to do this again, or he may never be as good at it as he was. And what's it going to take for him to be okay with that?
Enjoy your retirement.
I think it's an important theme that we live in our own lives and careers. We both have a lot of mentors who played significant roles in where we've gotten to today. I think there's that clash sometimes of generations that can happen. Everybody has sort of different perspectives, but I think that wisdom comes from when we can learn from each other. And I think that's like a contrast that you see in Lightning and like Jackson Storm, who doesn't have much reverence for those who have gone before him, whereas McQueen does have that. He's more mature, he's learned that. And he learns tons from Doc when he had Doc, but also in this film from Doc's friends. But also he shows that you can learn from somebody like Cruise, somebody who is of that generation. So I think we love that theme of everybody has something to teach each other.
You'll never be the racer you once were. You can't turn back the clock, kid. But you can wind it up again.
Yeah, we wanted you to feel it's the same world, right? But now you have a better set of glasses. You can see it through. You know,
That's our new technology.
It's as if how you may remember the first film, because technology is better, and we can do things that we couldn't do in the first film. We would have loved to have done them in the first film, but now we can. So we want to take advantage of that.
We can make more realistic shaders, which are the textures that we can make the cars shinier. We can add more detail. We can even add things like more crowds, more detail to our crowds, so that they're more interesting. And I think with our renderer, you can get all these really natural reflections. We can turn on lights and see all the natural reflections versus kind of having to create that ourselves.
And it's very important. I mean, we've all grown up looking at automobiles our whole life, and they're reflective. There are reflections in them, and if they're not there, something is not right. Now, so in the first film, we faked them and did what we needed to do to just get a hint of it there, but now we can really just do it. We also have to be careful because we can do it too much, and you're no longer looking at the eyes and the mouth, and you're no longer looking at it as a
And the eyes
character.
reflect too much in the hood, and they look like they have 4 eyes, and so you kind of have to.
So it's all about control and
directing your eye toward what you want the viewer to see, which is we do the acting on the faces, which is mostly the eyes.
At the end of the day, we're telling a story, so we want to use the technology to make it as immersive as possible for the audience, but not stepping on the story.
The racing world is changing.
Treadmills, wind tunnels, virtual reality. Still working on that. And interactive race simulation.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
Danger, you have jumped a barrier. You are on fire. You are going the wrong way. You have crashed.
We got some work to do.
I am so excited that I get to train you.
We are trying to say that, you know, this movie is a little different, right? There's some different things at stake, you know, but it's going to be well balanced, and there's plenty of humor, there's plenty of action, and of course it has a wonderful positive message and a happy ending. So I
It's got all the
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped for it.
Also, we think that, you know, even some of the themes in the movie that maybe adults can relate a little bit more to, I mean, we think that children even understand quite a bit of those themes. They pick up on that, even if Lightning McQueen is facing a career challenge, which maybe a child doesn't have a career, they love Lightning McQueen and they want him to race because they know he loves it. And they can relate to feeling passion for things and wanting to do things and wanting to see this character do that. So I think that even some of the themes that maybe are more sophisticated, I think kids absolutely get those as well.
Every week, veteran racers retire to make room for these younger, faster racers.
Have you given any thought to retirement?
McQueen, over here.
Okay, no questions, paparazzi.
So whenever I'm drawing Lightning McQueen, I always try to imagine the pose in my head, imagine what he's feeling, and kind of like almost see the drawing before I draw it. And then when I'm ready, I usually start with the eyes, you know, the windshield, because that's the soul. That's when we talk to somebody, we're always looking at their eyes. So the very first thing I try to go for is the eyes. And I like to make his eyes a little close together. If they're too far apart, he's not appealing. So just a little bit of friendly eyes. And then I try to think of his body in 3 dimensions and think of his round wheels. Just enough detail. I don't worry about drawing too much detail, but just enough to suggest shapes. So you can kind of, your eye wants to kind of like fold in and wrap around these shapes. Sometimes I just use shading to suggest shapes, but I don't worry about drawing them too much. And it's, so besides the eyes, the very next thing is the mouth. The eyes and the mouth say everything about a character. And that's Lightning McQueen.
I decide when I'm done.
You are not winning this.
I'm coming for you, Storm.